Hi guys, it's Christine from Finding Me 23 on Instagram. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you came across this video because you're hoping to start your own fitness journey or you're on one and just need some motivation or inspiration, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Welcome back to my subscribers who have been with me this whole time. I would go into the whole thing of I'm sorry that it's been so long for a video, but it's just been busy, started a new job, yada yada, but I'm back, I'm here, and I'm excited to share with you what's been going on, so stick around.
My power's turned up, so right now I'll be strong. I'll burn my fire strong, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fire left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
Alright, so I'm hoping I can get through this before my camera dies. If not, you won't even notice. I'll just do some editing. But anyway, right before during my last video, I talked about how I was doing the keto diet and it was working really well for me. And I did get some requests on what I'm doing, what the keto diet is, my meal plan, what I eat in a day, so on and so forth. And I will tell you, I tried a good, 10 times to do one of those what I eat in a day videos, vlog style, where I show you my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, cooking it all, and it just was not happening. So what I'm going to do for you instead is insert a little clip of how I log my calories, how I log my meals, my macros, and everything onto this app that I use called My Net Diary, so you'll get an idea of what I'm eating. Another thing is it changes constantly. It really just depends on what I'm kind of feeling like, what I grab at the store, but as long as you stick to these few things that I'm going to show in the little clip of my phone, then you'll be able to do it. So just quickly, just to wrap it up, the keto diet is basically trying to change your body from burning glucose to burning fat, because you're eating a lot of fat, so your body is using that fat as the energy source rather than trying to burn off the glucose and carbs. And so in order to do that, you're keeping a moderate protein, high fat, low carb diet. So that's eating things like good fats like avocado and meats and cheese and all this kind of stuff. So you'll see that in my video clip, kind of what that looks like. Now, right after I had finished that last video, I was experiencing some things from being on the keto diet for a long period of time. Usually they say do it for like 30 days and do a cutoff, kind of introduce carbs a little, and then you can go back on it. I was just kind of pushing through it, waiting for that to happen, and eventually I started feeling that way, where my stomach just wasn't doing well. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but my eczema was flaring up like crazy. Just overall, I wasn't doing well. So I decided to break the diet and just kind of see how that worked. And because I didn't prep and I didn't go shopping, I wasn't ready for it. I was just, again, not feeling well because I was just eating meat, trying to cut out the dairy, see if that was doing anything. And it wasn't, so I was like, okay, well, I don't want to quit, so I'll just go on a low-calorie diet. Again, not having prepped my meals, didn't go shopping or anything, and so I was just picking at things, and that is the most dangerous thing that you can do. I'll tell you right now, if you're like, oh, well, I'll just do this, but you do not prepare for it, which I've said in previous videos, prep, it means so much. You're gonna pick at things, you're gonna go, oh, well, I'll just have a little bit of this. You never just have a little bit of it, and it just gets out of hand. And I saw that starting to happen. I was starting to just pick at things and do a little bit here, do a little bit there, and I realized that I completely had really lost my focus of, doing this as a whole spiritual thing, being motivated spiritually, being connected in my faith and all that kind of stuff. I had lost that focus, and so I was like, okay, well, I just need to take a break. I need to focus on the things that are really important around me so that I can have a good center and a goal to go towards rather than just suffering for nothing. I do believe that you can suffer for good, but I wasn't doing it in that way. For the past 5 days, I had not thought about fitness or anything at all. I was just trying to reconnect with my family, my faith, and just the things that were around me other than fitness. I was really trying to get a hold of that, and so now I'm really ready. I feel like, back to the basics, where I'm, listening to positive music, praying, ready to exercise, ready to do this, do that. So I know that, like I've said, it's gonna be up and down and up and down, and that's kind of what these videos are like. Oh, this happened. Oh, well, now I'm good. And I used to be kind of ashamed of that, like that I wasn't on this high that everybody else in the fitness or YouTube land was on, like a pushing forward. But it's not always going to be like that. It's going to be up and down and up and down. And I just want to be very, very transparent with that. And so I know I feel great this week. And I think, like I've said before, it might go back down. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I had finished my 5 days of kind of just refocusing and getting a hold mentally and spiritually on things. And now I feel like I'm ready to continue that with my fitness as well. I'm not going to do a weigh-in today just because I want to, after I had not cared at all, not really not cared, but had intentionally took that break, I know that I'm going to be holding a lot of stuff, so I'm kind of trying to do a cleanse, and I'll have another video up on Monday of a weigh-in and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to update you guys on how everything was going, what I was doing. So just with this, I'm going to show you the clip of my meal plan, what I plan to start tomorrow and on Monday with everything with that. I'm also going to let you know that as far as exercising, I really want to get back to cardio. For the longest time, I've been just sticking to my food plan and my diet, and I was really kind of just coasting because I was still losing the weight without working out. But I definitely want to incorporate more. I was on a very large calorie deficit at my lowest that I could be. I think it was 11 or 1200 calories, and I kind of want to up that but increase the exercise. So that's kind of my plan. In this video, I will attach some body shots and my meal plan, but as far as a weigh-in, I will wait till Monday. So make sure you stick around. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get that on Monday. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I also wanted to include, I know some of you have talked about wanting to start the keto diet and not having family support. That's really hard. It is hard to have people around you, even cooking for a family or just friends and everything. Sometimes it can be hard, but just stick to it and find other outlets. I'm gonna be here. I know sometimes I disappear, but I'm doing the same thing. You can follow me on Instagram, which I do post more often on. Message me there. I cook for my husband and my daughter, and I have friends and family who also aren't on the same diet or workout regime as I am. So I know sometimes it's hard, but hit me up. I'll be here, and I'll be more than happy to support you guys as well as you doing that for me. So it is possible. I didn't write a script for this, so I know I've gone on and on, but let me just get to the body image and the meal plan. Here we go. Alright, so this is the original top that I had started with. I'm going to try to use it every week just so you can see progress through that. This was definitely tighter the very first time I wore it, so gotten definitely a little bit better. Anyway, so okay, so here's what it looks like. This is the app called My Net Diary. I did upgrade to the full version so that I can adjust the macros with percentages and whatnot. So here's what I put first. Like I said, you want to have a high percentage of fat, a low percentage of carbs, and moderate protein. So for 1700 calories, that is 120 grams of fat, 25 grams of total carbs and 115 grams of protein. So this is what I was doing before. Like I said in the video, I am going to up my calorie intake a little bit to incorporate some exercise, but the percentages will stay the same. So you can either put in percentage or calories, whatever you prefer. So let's just go ahead and start putting in my breakfast. Go ahead and search the food. I usually have eggs and put in 2. And it'll show you here how many grams of fat, how many carbs are in it. So it shows here that I've got just over 1 carb, total fat is 10, protein is 13, so that's pretty good for my eggs. Then we'll go back and let's see, yeah, you can pick the time, it doesn't really matter. I'm also going to add some bacon. That will get some more of my fat in there, as well as a little bit more protein. I don't believe there's any carbs. Let's see. Yep, so no carbs towards it, so that's awesome. Protein's at 10 and fat is at 14. So that's really good for breakfast. And then we're going to add some cheese in there. Now, like I said, I am trying to go a little lower on the dairy now. But if you're just starting and you don't have a problem with dairy intake or eczema or anything, this will be really great for you. The cheese is a good amount of fats and protein, but very low on the carbs here, so that'll be really good to round out my breakfast. So let's just go ahead to lunch. Sorry, excuse my daughter in the background. Anyway, so for lunch I'm going to have some broccoli, which, now here's a key. When you're doing carbs in a lot of vegetables, look at the dietary fiber, because you get to take that away at the end. So even though this has 6 grams of carbs, you get to take away the fiber. So 2.4 I get to spare on that. It won't calculate it in my calculations on this app, but I do get to keep that in mind. I love that you can have ranch on this diet. What diet would you normally be able to do that with? So it's a good amount of fat, not high in carbs at all, and not high in protein. So that'll be a perfect little side for my lunch. I'm also going to have some of these paninos, which you don't have to buy the actual package of paninos. They sell them at many stores. You can just get some pepperoni and cheese and make little rolls. They're really great to get the fat in there with very low carbs as well. So I know it doesn't look like a huge lunch, but it actually really is well for me. Plus, when you're having such a high fat diet, you're not having that glucose, which is going to spark your hunger. And so I've seen that really work for me. As you can see, I'm adding my dinner here, which is my keto taco salad. Now, you can add recipes on this app, so it doesn't show here every ingredient, but you see I have total fat 47, carbs 15, and protein 25. And see, you can see my dietary fiber in there. I get to take that away as well at the end for my total carbs, because I believe that's in the avocado or lettuce that I used. Here's the whole ingredient list. I used some ground beef, taco seasoning, avocado, sour cream, Marble Jack cheese, which is just the shredded cheese, and taco sauce. A lot of times I use lettuce if I don't have avocado or just some other green, but make sure you check that dietary fiber, because you get to take that away when calculating your total net carbs. Anyway, this is my favorite. I love this for dinner. I have it almost all the time for my keto, and it is just delicious. So just going back to my total, it's really hard to get it spot on, but this is pretty close. Now, as you can see, it says I'm a little over carbs, but I had those few carbs that I added with dietary fiber, or subtracted the dietary fiber, so I would actually be under carbs, so that's perfect. Being over fat is okay. Like I said before, this is a high fat diet, so a little over fat is all right. I also have the protein, which honestly that is really hard to get in my protein without going so much more on fat or carbs. I've looked for bars and other things, and it is a little hard to get in that. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just looking at your numbers here, trying to get as close as you can is your goal. And I have these test strips that I'll probably show you guys in my next video, where it shows whether you're in keto or not, and I highly suggest you get those because your numbers are going to be different, and I found that sticking to something similar to this keeps me in keto. So I hope this was helpful. I'll try one day to get one of those videos up where you see me actually preparing my foods, but this is what I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got a little educated. I will be starting up on my keto diet again next week and adding some workouts here and there, so I hope you can join along with me, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye.